August 2025 was huge for Superman fans. We had the return of Kryptonite in a brand new story. We had one of the best action comics issues we've had in years, and even a little surprise spotlight for Crypto the Super Dog. This month delivered in spades. I'm here with my two favorite Superman fans in all of the world, Mr. Super Frank with the best shirt. He wins the award for the best shirt of the night. Super Frank, how are you doing today?
I am doing great. It's good to be here talking Superman with you guys.
Oh, yeah, it is a fantastic time we are going to have tonight with all of you and with my other favorite Superman fan in all the land, Tim Tangent from Beer with Geeks. How you doing today, sir?
Me. Oh, you picked
him,
me.
me, you.
I'm doing very well. Thanks for having
Oh,
me, as
yes. I,
always.
I love talking with you too, but I'm super excited for this month in particular because there was some heavy hitters in this month in Superman. So I want to get right into it right away and talk about the honorable mentions because these are the books. There's so many books that come out every month, and Superman family is so popular and prevalent. We could always talk for 2 hours about all these books, but I'm just going to mention them here. Supergirl #4, continuing that nice little run. Crypto, The Last Dog of Krypton #3, as I mentioned in the opening. Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong #2, issue #3. Secret Six, Secret Six #6. Batman Gotham by Gaslight, A League for Justice, which they're doing like a Justice League in the Gotham by Gaslight world, Elseworlds
It's
thing.
good. It's real good.
That's
Oh
cool.
man, I need to read that. Okay.
Yeah, I need to read it.
Um, Also, Tim Tangent had been telling me DC versus Vampires, World War V, #12. Did you say you dropped that one?
I dropped it. Yeah, which is
Okay.
funny because I think there's only 2 issues left when I dropped it.
Ah,
Like, I
okay.
should go back, but there's so many other books that I read that I'm like, I don't wanna give my money to something I'm just, like, reading to finish. It's not worth it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to
Uh,
stop doing that too.
and then this one, I know I said honorable mention, but I wanted to spotlight this book real quick, and I'm going to do it in the form of sharing my screen. And if I did this correctly, which I don't think I did because there are 900 things that I wanted to share real quick with you from the history of the DC universe, the new history of the DC universe, issue #2. Now, we only got a little small super tease in the first one. This one had beautiful, big super art where Superman and including that super the action run that's currently going on with him being
hmm
Superboy, kind of alluding to that. Mark
hmm
Waid writing himself, plugging himself, but the artwork in this book is fantastic. I am loving
It's, uh
everything that's going on.
it's Brad Walker, right?
There's a bunch of
There's
people,
2
yeah.
there's I think there's 2 main artists on that book, and Brad Walker is one of them. They kinda go back and forth, and he's
Uh,
always great, but he is yeah, he's that's right, yeah,
this
but
this
he
is
is
Mike Allred for sure.
that's right, yeah, and Brad Walker's the other one, but they're both
Okay.
knocking it out of the park, but every time
Yes.
Brad Walker's page comes up, I'm like, "I would like that page.
Yes.
I would like that
Yes.
on my wall."
hmm
I don't
Oh
care who's on it,
man.
just give me
There's some great, like, specifically Superman shots in
hmm
this new history of the new DC
That's
universe,
beautiful.
and it's fantastic just going through, whether you know that history or not, it is fantastic, like, just seeing all of these things, and that's what I love about these history books. He actually did one for Marvel, which I need to check out as
Ooh,
well, history of the Marvel universe, but yeah, Kara shows up, they've got some Superman family stuff, and then this one I had to spotlight for Tim Tangent because you know his favorite member of the Superman family, of course, is Bizarro #1. With that Mike Allred Bizarro, I knew Tim Tangent was gonna love that.
I love it so
And then
much, it just fills me with joy. I say as
and
Bizarro. Yeah.
we got some Bizarro to talk about also. But real quick, to end it off, my
Mm.
favorite cover in all of comics is Infinite Crisis issue number 7, where he's holding uh Kara, and this art right here, man, I would love to have this on my wall. But yeah, the history of the DC universe, fantastic stuff that is going on over there. I'm loving it. And we've got some people in the chat as well.
Hmm.
Yeah. Hello, Darwin. How are you doing? How you doing? I'm loving all this stuff. So we're having a good old time here on This Month in Superman. Thank you very much for joining us. And I do want to go straight to our pick this month. Um, Now, I have been loving Absolute Superman. I've been loving Action Comics. I've been loving Batman Superman World's Finest. But this month, guys, there have been some topsy turvy things that have been happening. Number one, I think Superman Unlimited might be moving up on my list of favorite Superman books. From the turnaround, for you can go back and listen to my thoughts on Superman Unlimited number 1 when it first came out. I didn't quite know where it was going. It was kind of like feeling itself out. I think issue number 4, where Superman gets turned into Man Bat, a Superman Bat, the craziness, the hijinks. I am loving this book now. Superman Unlimited is now one of my favorite books after this 4th issue. It is fantastic. Not my pick. It could have been my pick of the month, but that book has been fantastic.
I gotta say that Dan Slott writes a great Damian Wayne. Just like
Yes,
out
yes.
of this world, really good. Also, 2 artists on this book on number 4 made
I
it
noticed that.
made it better. Yep, I'm gonna say it
That's
really
right
is. It
because
really for I think of the art is really killing it for me. I'm really
Mm.
not a fan of Raphael Albuquerque's
yeah, you
art.
know what? That actually I didn't even think about it as I was reading it. That makes a
Yeah.
ton of sense.
There's a good
Yes, yes,
style
you're right.
correlation between them, but it just liked
Yeah, but
the
you're right.
other art
It
a
doesn't
little
quite line
better.
up. Yeah.
I think you are 100%
Hmm.
on the money, Tim Tangent.
Yeah.
This
Good
Night
call.
of the Superbat, some fantastic art, and that little Dan Mora Superman in the corner. I love it seeing that him breaking out of the chains. But yeah, that's not my pick of the month. But I just wanted to mention real quick that I am loving Superman Unlimited. But my pick of the month this month is a brand new comic that is brought to us by the Ice Cream Man team. Um, W. Maxwell Prince and Martin Morazzo. Superman, the Kryptonite Spectrum, book number 1. This is a black label book, 17 plus, mature people. Um, I want to know, what did you guys think of the Kryptonite Spectrum number 1? Let's start off with Tim Tangent.
I loved it. I
Yes.
like it I needed to see a couple of people said about it before I got it. I just wasn't sure because I've never read Ice Cream Man, so I'm not going in with a particular love of the team. They're pretty
Mhm.
unknown to me. Um, and so there was a couple where people were like, "Oh, the dialogue was weird," or somebody was like written weird here. And so I kind of went in with that in mind, and I didn't find that at all. I thought everyone was great, and I just loved the goofiness of it. But it's really earnest at the same time. Like it's got that like Grant Morrison earnestness. Like
Yes,
the
yes.
goofiest
Yeah.
thing is happening, but it is the most serious thing in the world right now.
Hmm.
And
Yes.
I really loved the interplay between Lex, Batman, and Superman in this book. I just the whole thing really, really worked for me. It was almost my pick of the month.
Mm.
So you just picked it first or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So uh,
uh, Super Frank, did you get a chance to check out the
Ye-
Kryptonite Spectrum number 1?
This was excellent. Yeah, I really
Yeah.
dug this a lot. I I uh I felt like I agree about it. Not only did I get Grant Morrison from it, but I actually did kind of get I think he sort of resembles Frank Quitely's Superman. The art style is
Yeah.
obviously very different, right?
Yes.
But what that Superman would look like in real life, I feel like is the same Superman that's being drawn here.
Oh
If
yeah.
that makes sense. And
Yes.
it's just got the same physicality to him. So I really liked that, and um, kind of the fortress robots really were giving me vibes of the mechanical monsters from the Fleischer cartoons.
Yes.
That's a little thing, but that just made me smile. Yeah, I really dug this book, and I'm excited to see where this heads next.
My thought on the
Yeah.
Superman robots, I just when I saw them, I was like, "Man, do you think James Gunn saw those and went, 'Dang it, that's
Yeah,
what I should have done.'"
they
That's
were cool.
that's
They were
amazing.
cool, but they're no Gary.
Yeah. That's
Oh
no,
yes.
that's
Yes.
yeah, maybe.
I mean, you could put Alan Tudyk on anything and any robot, and it's going to shine. Man, I loved those robots and everything. I echo
Hmm.
all of your two sentiments. Everything you said. On top of just the title of the book, the Kryptonite Spectrum, is interesting to me. I actually did a short on the different forms of kryptonite on my YouTube channel. You can check it out. Um, they each one has it's almost like the very similar to the Green Lantern ring spectrum of emotions, and each color doing something, having a different effect. There's something about that in our brains, like the way that colors interact with us. It's just something that is interesting to me, that each one has these different effects, and visually you can do so much, and the comic medium, being a visual medium, this got me. Even just the cover of the Kryptonite Spectrum, and then once I was inside, just like Tangent, I have heard great things about Ice Cream Man, but I have not had a chance to check it out yet. And this book, definitely for me, was a win. I'm going to check out Ice Cream Man to see what these two have put together. But yeah, just this first book here, there was so many great standout moments. The the first panel with Bruce and Professor Pig, him fighting Professor Pig, I
Some pig.
loved.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
So good.
And our mutual friend Hunter Camp, I had texted him immediately because he's a huge Professor Pig fan and Batman fan, and I was like, "This made me think of you immediately when I was reading this," and he was overjoyed. So, yeah, man, this book is off to a great start. I don't particularly see what's Black Label about it. Um,
I think it's just that it's alternative universe. It's not,
oh, okay,
so
because
it's not Earth 1, so it's just
okay,
Black Label, it's its own thing.
Mhm.
because the cover is like mature, and I'm like, I didn't see anything mature specifically in this book, but
No, I
maybe
don't
something
really
coming
think
up.
there's any language in here.
I don't.
I didn't see any blood. Um,
No, I
yeah,
think
I
Black
don't know,
Label is just truly like it's it is they
like
can be mature,
Elseworlds.
but it's Elseworlds, right?
Okay,
Okay.
yeah,
Because it would get
okay, but
confusing to say like, "Oh, these are Black Label, but these are Elseworlds, but these are," it's all Elseworlds, it's all
Hmm.
Black Label, it's all
Sure.
good.
okay. Well, I cannot wait to see what's going to happen in this, where Superman is going through all the different colors and
Hmm.
seeing how each one affects him. This one we had like a purple kryptonite, and it was like messing with time, the way time was, or he was experiencing time.
Hmm.
I am gonna go backtrack on my comment because I'm just looking at my spread of comics over here. The Gotham by Gaslight League for Justice, that has an Elseworlds stamp.
Ah.
Um, so
So there is a
Kryptonite
Elseworlds
Spectrum
still.
is technically still Elseworlds, because it's its own thing. But
Okay.
just maybe there's something coming down the line in a different issue that makes it more
Right.
mature or Black Label. So it doesn't happen to be this issue.
Right.
We
Okay.
don't know what the other ones do beside the Kryptonites besides
Right.
the first one. So
Right.
yeah,
Maybe
could get weird.
something mature.
Blue
Yes.
could get weird. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cobalt.
Yes.
Cobalt. Yeah.
Cobalt.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. Super Frank, did you give your thoughts on this? I just blanked on.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
so
I
many things
absolutely.
going
Yeah.
on
I
here. Okay.
I, I got a
Thank you.
lot of what both of you said too.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. Excellent, some great stuff. Speaking of Super Frank, what was your pick of the month this month?
My pick of the month changed at the last minute because a new issue dropped today. Um, that was Superman number 29, and
Woo-wee.
I really enjoyed this book. It's maybe it's recency bias, maybe that's me. Uh,
Yes.
just I don't know, but the whole Superman Prime thing. Obviously, I've always
Mhm.
been a big fan of his, and I love the sort of the
Yes.
the I loved the meta humor, but also what
Yes.
the
Yes.
references were too. Um, and plus, and I think this probably seals it for Tim. A healthy dose of Booster Gold. Um, always,
Coming around to my
always
Booster
helps.
Gold bias, I gotta say
You're
though,
coming around.
I'm coming around to my anti-boosterism. Like
Oh,
I have
wow.
last couple years, there have there has not been anything that has really made me go, man, I really don't like you as a character. I may not seek him out, like I'm not gonna read a Booster Gold story on its own, like that's fine. But I'm no longer upset if he shows up or bored if
Ah,
he shows up. Um,
nice.
and
Okay.
so that bias has passed, I think, almost completely to Bizarro, if I have to be honest.
Oh, man.
That's
Dang.
amazing. That's
Yes.
amazing. Yeah. Well,
Man.
I think the actually like the funniest the thing that made me laugh the most in all of comics this month was you killed people. Hey, that was like 2 reboots ago.
Yes. That was fantastic. What I don't
Ugh.
remember. I think we talked about this on our previous episode. Last time I recall reading Superboy Prime was Crisis on Infinite Earths, and I don't remember him being like
He's
a
in Final
Deadpool.
Crisis.
He
He
was in Final Crisis, yeah.
yeah, we did talk
Did
about
he
this the
break the
last
fourth
time.
wall like this? Like, did
Yep.
he do it?
Yeah, he
Okay,
did. That was he had his own Final Crisis spin-off miniseries
that's why. Yes. Okay,
where
because I read Final Crisis, but I
that
didn't read
happened.
his miniseries. Okay, I
Okay,
need to
yeah,
read
yeah.
this. Okay, because I was like, wait a minute, I don't remember him
What was
being
that
like
one
this
called?
Deadpool, She-Hulk type character
It
where
was
he's
very,
talking
yeah.
directly to the audience. Okay, I need to read that because that I love those type of characters like Ferris Bueller. Those
Mhm.
anytime someone breaks the fourth wall in whatever medium it is, even from a little kid, I was like, they're doing something that's crazy. They're breaking the rules right now. So I've always loved that type of thing. But again, Joshua Williamson and Dan Mora, man, I have loved their run together that they've been putting together here. And Dan Mora is my favorite artist currently. So any any page I can get from Dan Mora, yes, I say thank you.
I don't know how
Uh,
he's putting out this and Justice League at the same time because you're like, the quality is
yes,
gonna dip somewhere along the
right,
way, but not recently, not these last couple of issues. Just
yeah.
really
Yeah.
stellar.
He's definitely like one of those artists that I like. I think we talked about this before. Mark Bagley on Ultimate Spider-Man, where he broke the record of most consecutive on a
Mhm.
book, like 100 something, and it was like he was consistent every month, and he was doing like it seemed effortless to him. I think there's just some artists that it just comes really fast to them, and then you look at other artists, and it's like they can barely keep up on a monthly book, and then have numerous delays. So it is always interesting to see how fast people can put together stuff um, on a monthly basis. But yeah, Dan Mora, he's got the sauce, he's got the stuff. I don't know what he's drinking in his water.
But I want some.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, man,
By the way,
I'm loving it.
that Superman Prime miniseries was Final Crisis: Legion of Three Worlds,
Yes, I
which
need
was
to read
written
that.
by
Man,
Jeff Johns and art
George
by George
Perez?
Perez. Yeah,
Yes.
mm,
yeah,
okay. You
yeah.
know what? I might read that tonight. That is,
It's
I don't
only
know
like
why I
5
didn't read
issues,
that.
maybe. Yeah, it's an easy one to. Yeah, 5
Okay,
issues.
yeah, man. Uh,
Definitely.
Tim Tim Tangent, what are you thinking about this run that is
Hmm.
going on right now on Superman?
I'm thinking that the Legion of Superheroes works best when they're fallen apart. because I just
Mm.
recently read Jeff Johns's Legion story a couple weeks
Oh,
ago.
yes,
And there's some
yes.
like stuff in there that I'm actually glad I read it because like um when Superboy Prime calls, can't remember the ice guy's name, Ice Boy, Polar Boy. When he calls Polar Boy
Nice
or
guy.
like
Yes.
a sub or a replacement, I wouldn't have that's the one. Yeah, that's the one, Frank. I would not have
Nice.
remembered that he was on the substitute team, like he didn't make the original cut, but that was a whole that's part of the whole story in Johns's arc. So I'm really glad I did that. But I think because the Legion is, as Superman says in it, is like you were inspired by me, but I was also equally inspired by you. You showed me what superheroes could be and how optimistic the future can be and all of this stuff and like to make your part of it, like to do your part to make that happen was really important to him. So I think because they sit at that standard of this it's almost like kinda like the Federation, like the utopia-ness of it,
Ooh.
where this is the best we can be. The stories that hit the hardest with the Legion are the ones where they get decimated because
Mm.
it's not just that this superhero team gets hurt, it is beautiful, beautiful Gary Frank art right there.
Oh,
Um
yes. Man, I love
it's not
that.
just that the team gets decimated, it's that the utopia is hurt or
Mm.
the perfectness of the future is
Right.
at stake. It's not just like another day where somebody gets punched. The stakes are automatically risen because what was wonderful is destroyed. And I
Mm.
really felt that in this issue, which is what really made it for me, along with the Superboy Prime stuff, which I loved. But I love a good punch of reality. It just brings me right back to 20 years
Yes.
ago. Um,
Yes.
but I also appreciate actually that punch in reality. I appreciated which images they chose from different
Yeah.
Ooh,
realities. I noticed
yes.
Kyle
Yes.
Higgins' new Batman in there a couple of times here and in Justice League Unlimited, I think. So, because I know Dan Moore did the designs for that. So I like the very recentness of the choice.
Yeah, man. I am loving everything that's going down here in Superman right now. One of the top books that's coming out every month. And speaking of one of the top books, Tim Tangia, what is your pick of the month?
My pick is also filled with recency bias. It is the Justice League Unlimited number 10, which starts picks up where we left off with it is kind of interplayed with Superman because it has to do with Time Trapper
Mhm.
Doomsday, who is injured from from Darkseid's Legion chasing him, and he winds up on the Watchtower. And they're doing this like really quick hassle surgery to fix him, which I loved the use of the league members to do that and the thought out process. For I don't want to spoil it because it just came out today, so I want to keep it a fair minimum of spoilers, but I um I like the inventive craziness of what was happening in this book in like in two different sections. Like there's like we've got to go into a fire pit. Here's this Justice League Red
Mm.
team, basically that's going in. Even if you haven't read Justice League Red, you might be familiar with the concept. Red Tornado calls you, your card flashes red. You have to do a very special mission. Um, so I like both of the zaniness of those things happening, again, in total earnestness. But I really loved the very heated discussion between Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman about what
Mm.
to do with Airwave and who's culpable for his actions of betrayal as team members and what do they do. And what got me thinking about this more than anything was, the Batman's like, so we got to do a better like dive checks on future members, and they're like, "Well, yes, obviously, that's a good idea." Um, but Batman's like, "But also, we should invade the privacy of everybody and do a hardcore dive." Um, and they're like, "No, no, no, that's too much." And so Batman, this is a little spoiler. So, but Batman goes to Red Tornado. He's like, "Okay, you're gonna do it anyway." Um, because Red Tornado is programmed to not question them, apparently. But that totally brought me back to this is Mark Waid's signature move with Batman. Batman is gonna go rogue,
Mhm.
and he's gonna hoard secrets or look into secrets on the Justice League. for the protection of people. Like this is Tower of Babel, which brings you to Brother Eye, which brings you to Omax, which brings you to Infinite Crisis. Right. Like
That's
this
right.
is
Mm.
the exact kind of like tumbly Tower of
Mm.
Babel, if you will, that brings us into real danger territory. And so I picked this issue, one, for Dan Moore's art, but two, because I liked I liked the tumbly nature of this, but I also think Mark Waid is very smart, and certainly smart enough to not repeat his old stories, his quite famous old stories that have been redone and seen in different media and all this stuff. So I'm more like really curious where it's going,
Mm.
because I don't want to see like, oh, it looks like Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman aren't friends anymore. And then like I think a huge fault of the early 2000s is that after Godbat of Grant Morrison, Batman became a huge jerk, like just a
Mm.
massive, massive jerk. Like he's the worst between Jeff Johns and Mark Waid. He just like goes to a really terrible place, and that's part of his 1 year later is like, I got to be nicer. That's
Oh
kind of
man.
his whole thing, and I think we've finally gotten there. It's taken actually a long time to get back there, and I just don't want to see him tumble back down again.
Yeah.
But it is Superman that is actually the jerk in this book, where they're like, we got to protect people. And he's like, oh, did you do a deep dive check on Jason Todd before you gave him the Robin costume? Like, low blow.
Yes.
That's like,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
Yeah. That
that's
was
real.
that
That was
was below the
low.
belt. That was below the belt. That was not
Yeah.
not cool.
I do
And I
also
didn't.
appreciate
Yeah.
that Mark Waid writes Superman as a person who's not like, it's like one of those like, man, I can be such a jerk sometimes. Like the
Mm-hmm.
moments like, it slipped out, and now I'm gonna think
Mm-hmm.
about that the rest of my life. How
Mm-hmm.
I was a
Mm-hmm.
jerk when I said that.
He's gonna wake up at 2 a.m. and think about that.
Right. Superman's not infallible, but he is, like, we all say things we regret, but he is actually going to regret saying it,
Mm-hmm.
like that's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be part of his growth. I love that.
Right. Yes, I also like that. Man, that golly, that version of Superman always hits me in my core. And you know what else hit me in my core this month in Superman, because it was fantastic. Like I said, multiple books could have been, I think, all of our picks of the month on this month in Superman. Everything. I don't think there was a bad book this month. I think every book that came out, there was something interesting,
I s-
enjoyable.
I snoozed during World's Finest a little bit. I'll be honest, but
Oh, okay.
that's because it's Bizarro World, and I just don't care. So
Yeah, I was when I was reading it, I was thinking, I was like, man, I think Tim is gonna be upset in this one.
I mean, I know what I'm getting into, but I'm really at the point where I'm like, should I just skip this arc and just come
No,
back
it's
in?
good.
Like,
It's
I'll see you
fun.
in a couple weeks.
yeah, I
The
just
rational thought plague that's going on. Man, I'm loving that. I'm loving
see.
everything that's
I
happening with
love that idea, and then I read the page. I'm like, I don't care. I still care.
that. Yeah. Well, yeah. You can
Can't like
always get in
everything.
on the next
Whatever.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
But yeah, man, I'm just really loving everything that's happening. I'm loving that you guys are here with me talking Superman every month, because I love both of your takes. I love your opinions and how articulate you both are. And if you, the viewer, are
You forgot
watching
good
and listening,
looking.
oh yeah, that too. If you are watching us and listening to us right now, and you want more good looking, you want more articulation, you want more goodness, you can check out the Beer with Geeks podcast, because these two are always talking something interesting while consuming some type of beverage. Um, Tim Tangent, anything interesting going on in the Beer with Geeks world? What's going on next?
Well, I can tell you what I'm drinking if you want me to do that.
Ooh,
Um,
tell us.
which is, but first, before we do that, Frank, when Vactor said articulation, you moved your arms like
Points of articulation.
okay. I wasn't sure if you were making a Frozen reference, because like our mental articulation, like there's like this like little
Ah,
bit,
ah,
and like where Anna and Prince Hans
yes.
like do this little thing, and we have small
I, I,
daughters,
I
so
do. I do
Yes.
know the moment you're talking about.
Yep.
Yes.
So I wasn't sure
But
if you
no,
were
I
just
was.
like to yourself doing a Frozen moment, and that was, or as suspected, I read into that and it became a Frozen moment in my brain. Don't know which is worse, truly.
Oh.
Um, in
Nobody
the
wins here.
Yeah, in the Beer with Geeks world, I can tell you that we recently just dropped an episode where Frank had to guess the Beatles song by only listening to 1 second of
Mm.
the Beatles track. I will not tell you how Frank did. You will have to listen for yourself. Just rest assured that we already knew this, but Frank is an amazing human being. So,
Yes.
like, that's worth noting. Um, I grabbed a
Thank you.
beer, you're welcome. I grabbed a beer especially for this Superman episode. I thought this was could be in favor of Superman, or at least connected tangentially to him, and that is a Samuel Adams flannel fest,
Nice.
right? Yeah,
Yes.
because who doesn't
Yes.
love a flannel but the farm boy from Smallville?
Absolutely.
Yep. And so it is a Munich style beer, and it is delicious.
Man, that
Nice.
actually reminds me. I had to show my son the season 1 finale of Smallville because my son loves tornadoes. He loves all natural disasters. He even wanted his soccer team to be called the Natural Disasters, but no one else on
Maybe,
his soccer team wanted
maybe
it.
just,
So
just
I don't
maybe
know
just
where he
pick
got
maybe
that
just pick
from.
one. Like he could have gone with the tsunamis or the
Yeah,
Yeah.
hurricanes, the
yeah, yeah.
tornadoes.
I don't know
Twisters.
that,
Even the
and it's funny.
storms would have made,
Yes,
you
yes.
know?
The best part was when it came time to pick names and he volunteered natural disasters. So when they came, all right, everyone raise your hand. Who wants natural disasters? He didn't even raise his hand. He was the one who suggested it, and he didn't
Word.
even raise his
You
hand.
know, he said it out loud. The words came out, and he was like, "You know, if we lose one game, that's it. We're the
Oh.
natural disasters. Like, there's no way coming back from this game." So he heard it
So
himself.
he loves all type of destruction and natural disasters, and I just had a thought in my head. Wait a minute, I could show him the Smallville finale and then the season 2 premiere, and I was right. He loved it. He was in hog heaven and watching that episode. So that
You
flannel you
showed the
just
season
reminded me.
4 finale too, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Into
Um,
the season 5 premiere. That's
I'd
a
actually forgotten they were on Hulu. Um,
yes.
Shaw, you're just in time
Hey,
for us to end the show.
hey.
But thank you very much, Shaw, for joining us. Good evening. In case anyone is not aware, Shaw actually does our artwork. So if you see our lovely thumbnails, that is Shaw work right there. So thank you, Shaw, and good evening to you as well, sir. But yes, thank you very much, Beer with Geeks. You two are the best. I love that we're doing this series, and it's one of my favorite things that I'm doing month to month. So thank you very much for joining me, and everyone out there. Please go out and watch, listen, download, subscribe to Beer with Geeks because these two are delightful. Thank you very much, everyone out there. Stay super, and we will be back next month for this month in Superman September 2025.